Hey everybody, it's the Mad Master. I'm just doing the second video today. And this is my last video today because I got a lot of shit to do. A lot of projects to pursue, even though a lot of other things going on later on today too, which I'm not going to go into right now. I may do a video about this though, what's going on today with me. I'll just say I'm not happy, but we won't go into that. So, I've been accused of some things over the past few years that I don't really agree with completely. And one of those things, there's two things I've been accused of being is iconoclast and a contrarian. So the contrarian thing, the iconoclast thing, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with being called an iconoclast. That's fine. I think idols and like worshiping public figures or people or musicians or whatever is fucking wrong, Now, and I want to tear it down. It's the truth. But contrarian, that is something I do not agree with. And I'll tell you why. I don't like corruption and I don't like hypocrisy. Two different things. So I go against all these political figures and these political organizations and all these things. It doesn't mean I'm just doing it just to react or just to be rebellious. Now, there are certain people that I've, made the company of over the years that also have been accused of contrarianism, and that's not true either. However, the perception is, rebel against the masses and stuff, blah, blah, blah. Well, I would have to say maybe the iconoclastic thing applies to them too, but not contrarianism. See, the problem I have with the contrarian thing is because people are coming from this misinformed mindset. They believe the mainstream media about everything, and they believe in the politicians are actually out to do good for the people and all this stuff. And it's like me pointing out that, let's say Joe Biden, gave no thought to supporting Israel killing Palestinian children over the past few months. That's not contrarianism. That's just telling the truth. Or, saying Trump was a hypocrite about this or that, it's like, it's just it's telling the truth. It's not being contrarian. Or saying the ACLU is going more woke and becoming not the organization they were before. It's not contrarian. It's just like, it's being informed and wanting to go against systems that are corrupt and out of sorts, considering the degradation of our civilization as it's going on right now, like what some call it the fourth turning or whatever. I don't think it's contrarian to be against things. Now, that said, there's also been, not that said, but there's also been accusations about that with music and art and with me and everything, like, oh, you like all this metal I've never heard of because I only listen to the radio that plays Shinedown and Metallica all the time. It's like, I'm sure that some people have that impression, right? I'm not saying that anybody like I know is like that, but like the impression that I give is like, since I go against all that mainstream shit, that I'm some kind of like contrarian because I always say something. Well, I hate nu metal. It's like, I listen to really mainstream shit. The Sex Pistols are the most mainstream punk band of all time. They're a boy band, basically. I was going to do a video about that too. But for people to say that I'm contrarian as far as music, just look at my music collection. It's very mainstream compared to a lot of people. I don't listen to only cult, underground black metal, one-man bands that are on Metal Archives and there's hardly any information. I'm not a contrarian. I listen to a lot of the Pink Floyd fucking poster in the background. I mean, it's mainstream as you can get. I'm very mainstream. I'm just being honest. But I don't like corporate like radio rock all the time unless it's like older stuff, And because there's been a decline in music, in a lot of ways. So this contrarian thing, I just don't agree with. Now, maybe someone could call me a conspiracy theorist. Okay, so, all right, but you're a coincidence theorist, That's fine. Actually, that's a little more true. I've been studying truth for over 20 years, the truth movement. first got into it after the movie JFK came out, and I saw that, and I was like, had panic attacks because I used to have like a weird agoraphobia in the theater, and I think I walked out for a second, and then I went with my father and stuff years ago. I don't know, that's a different story. Or was that Natural Born Killers? But I think I was high at the time. Anyways, I don't know. I don't remember. This was a long time ago. So, you know, it's like people want to label people different things, but I just don't think I'm a contrarian. I just see corruption. Maybe I look for corruption. Maybe I look for, in some ways I do. That's, you know, that's the way the law of attraction works. You know, you attract what you put out there. And maybe I do look for that. And in that, maybe in that way, maybe a little bit of contrarian, because I look for things to be outraged by sometimes. I'll admit it. I'm trying not to do that less, because it's not a fun hobby all the time. I'd rather just, you know, be with a beautiful woman and listen to metal or something. You know, that's what I'd rather do. Or, you know, drink mead or whatever, you know, or play guitar, you know, whatever you want to call it. Then, you know, always rally against the system and stuff. But, you know, the system is corrupt, and it doesn't make me a contrarian to question these things. I mean, Bernie Sanders is a mainstream politician who I now, you know, decry, but back in the day, I was all militant about him. Does that make me a contrarian? If I was a true contrarian, I'd be an anarchist back then, you know? Very mainstream stuff. People are so mainstream, so corporate, that just a little bit of rebellion seems contrarian. And yeah, I do like to debate, and I do like to give my opinion, so that makes me seem contrarian. No, I just hate corruption and hypocrisy. And I point it out because I have the magnifying glass on everybody and everything sometimes. And it makes me more of a critic, you know, critical type. You know, they have these types, all this fucking bullshit labeling people. I have a thing, you know, what's the thing, the personality type thing on OkCupid is like, I forgot what it was called, the Myers-Briggs, that's right. My Myers-Briggs is shut the fuck up, or something like that. I put that, I think I stole that from this pickup artist guy back in the day, but anyways, you know, I hate all these labeling and these boxes people put each other in. And even though I put things in boxes, of course, I'm a living hypocrite, but I'm not. At least I criticize that tendency, you know. But yeah, I'm not a contrarian, and I'm not a metal elitist. I'm not a metal. I mean, compared to other people, maybe there's a scale, there's a spectrum, right? But when people don't know about the metal band, you know, underground metal, you know, which most people don't. Most people are normies, you know. Really, I'm not really that underground. I mean, that's the fact. I'm not really an underground metalhead. I listen to some I'm a middle underground metalhead, right? So like the walk-in bands, some of them are really lame too. And then there's a mainstream, whatever, hard rock, metal, new metal, metalcore shit. There's the middle, and then there's a real, where you can't even see it in this camera. But, you know, I'm not that person, but I'm not that person either. I'm sort of in the middle. I'm a moderate. I'm a centrist. You know, in some ways I am. I mean, really a centrist, basically, politically. It's like when people say, you're far left because you supported Bernie Sanders. Really? You know, his tax rate is nothing compared to, like, I mean, there's a lot of nuance to go into this argument, but his tax rate was nowhere near Eisenhower's that he proposed. Does that make me a far leftist? I'm to the right of Eisenhower, you know? It's fucking bullshit. People labeling people, you're a contrarian, you're far leftist. It's like, fuck off, you know? But anyways, yeah, I mean, I don't like these labels, but I am somewhat of, I'll admit, I'm somewhat of a truther, okay? A conspiracy theorist, truther, whatever you want to call it. Somewhat moderate conspiracy theorist, you know, because I don't believe in lasers blowing up the towers or whatever the fuck, you know. But I read Disconnecting the Dots, books like that. Definitely some stuff going on with that. And same right now with all this crisis going on. I know there's stuff that happened. And now the mainstream media is not afraid to talk about it because Trump wasn't reelected. So that's basically right. And I'll stand by that. I don't like Trump. But basically the reason why people are talking about that shit. Oh, I just look at my phone thing. basically why Trump was, basically why they're talking about that stuff now is because Trump was not reelected. So, or whatever you believe about that, I don't know. But anyway, basically that's about all. Peace out.